llamas, architecture, gold, and the great emperors to rule the massive population. This is Cuzco in the Inca Empire, located in modern-day Peru. Hello, I'm Emily Lambert. I'm here in the capital of the Inca Empire. I'm here to enhance your knowledge of the city's greatest prominence in the post-classical era. So let's begin. Cuzco reached its height from 1438 to 1533. Its main accomplishments were pottery and cloth, advanced metallurgy. They had advanced bronze technology. They also used quipu for accounts and enumeration. They also had beautiful architecture such as stone buildings, agricultural terraces, irrigation projects, and road systems. Now let's talk about how Cuzco rose to power. Many groups in the southern Andean highlands fought for supremacy. Quechua-speaking clans around Cuzco finally won the control of territory formerly under Huari. By 1438, under the leadership of Pachacuti, they began to extend their empire. Pachacuti's son, Tupac Yupanqui, extended the Inca rule into Ecuador and Chile. The empire ended up stretching from Colombia to Chile and eastward to Bolivia and Argentina. About 9 to 13 million people were under Inca rule. This is a picture of Pachacuti. The Incas adopted the practice of split inheritance, which was when all of the ruler's political power went to the successor, while all wealth and land passed to male descendants. The system created a justification for endless expansion. This shows how economic and political factors allowed for the rise of Cuzco in the post-classical era. And now we are going to hear from a citizen from Cuzco about the culture in post-classical Cuzco.
Thank you, Emily. Now let me tell you about the wonderful culture of my hometown Cuzco in the post-classical era. Popular crops include corn and potatoes. Cuzco had such beautiful things such as wool, which they got from their llamas, pottery, and jewelry that they would make and trade. Women were in charge of producing the wool, pottery, and jewelry, and this is how they would contribute to the labor which is required by the state. Here's a clip of the women actually making their clothes. Men, however, would perform difficult manual labor to plow the land so that they would be able to grow crops. Men would also construct buildings, roads, and irrigation systems for the great city. This really shows the authority the rulers had over the citizens, especially the peasants. The peasants would live together in communities called alyu and work together on this communal land. While the peasants would cultivate and work to support the elites, the aristocrats and nobles enjoyed lives of luxury. Both aristocrats and nobles enjoyed of the finer things in life and had embroidered clothes and silver soles on their sandals to prove it, as opposed to the flimsy sandals that the peasants would wear. Priests were also usually from royalty or an aristocrat and were well educated. Though priests lived celibate and ascetic lives, they still had much influence over the people of Cuzco. Priests would perform religious rituals and ceremonies. The women were allowed to help the priests in weaving their ritual garments and in preparing the ceremony meals. People in Cuzco believed that their rulers, or the Incas, were related to the sun deity Inti. Because the rulers were considered to be divine, once they passed away, they would be dressed up in fine clothing, and people would present them with offers of fine food and drinks, which is similar to ancestor veneration. After this, they would be mummified. Now let me tell you a little bit about who the people of Cuzco interacted with. They mostly interacted with local ethnic groups such as the Chanca, the Chucuy, and the Chimu. They would intermarry with these people and formed alliances with them as a way to keep peace amongst different groups of peoples. Now you get to hear from an expert, Dr. Napoleon, to hear about the importance and the fall of Cuzco.
Hi, I'm Dr. Napoleon. I'm here to explain why Cuzco is so important. One of the things that makes Cuzco so important is that it was the richest city in the New World. Cuzco itself had an abundance of gold and other goods, but its riches were ultimately what led it to its demise. The Incas were very important because they were such a small group of people who just, in a matter of a couple of years, were able to conquer the people around them. They had fantastic architecture and superior metallurgy, and they had a corps of runners who would transport messages and goods throughout the empire, which included the highlands and the lowlands. The highway was also built for all-weather purposes, so it could withstand the snow and the rain and all of that, so that the messages and the goods could be delivered quickly. One of the reasons that Cuzco declined was mainly because of Francisco Pizarro and the Spanish conquistadores. When the conquistadores came in contact with the Incas, they brought diseases such as smallpox, which greatly decimated the population and created social unrest between all the tribes. They also captured the ruler at the time, Atahualpa, and held him hostage while they besieged Cuzco. The Spanish also had superior technology and weaponry, which also aided them in their conquering of Cuzco. Cuzco, though, wasn't decimated just because of the conquistadores. They also were having internal conflicts, such as disputes over state control policies and the increasing demand for tributes from the peasants and such.
Thanks, Dr. Napoleon! Now, time for a recap with both Dr. Napoleon and explorer Emily Lambert.
Basically, Cuzco was amazing.
They had such an organized hierarchy.
Yeah, which made it easy for the Incas to rule.
And their grand advancements in architecture shows how Cuzco had authority over so many people and could get them to build infrastructure.
I know, and with the help of all the peasants, the Inca government was able to build many great irrigation systems and government projects.
Not only did those projects display their power amongst other civilizations, but all of their gold made Cuzco luxurious.
I know, Cuzco is great!
I can see shaking because it's ready. Ow! Now I understand why Emily was laughing so much. Okay.
Wait, I was trying from my part.
Yeah, and with the help of all the peasants, she just started. Wait, hold on. Murielle, you start. And we're gonna have to cut that in the post-class.